Hey guys, sorry about all the delays. That all that random stuff earlier of like the odd stream, they've changed how streaming works now, so it's super confusing. But I've got it figured out, I guess. It's back to normal as long as you set it to schedule. If you go to just go live like I used to, it immediately throws it through a loop and it gets all confused. But yeah, anyway, so we're gonna get into doing some work on this. So this is obviously the reference. I did work on this off stream, so this is the render that we left off, and if I can just move that. So this is, oh come on, move there we go. This is render where we left off, and this is the new one. So basically all I did, I got a note from a look dev artist who reached out, basically just saying the skin needed more diffuse and a bunch of other things. So I've gone through and I've quickly added more diffuse, and ultimately what that's done is it's kind of added more definition to the skin. So this is the new one. It's a little bit noisy, but you know, we've got a little bit more definition in the skin. You can see the wrinkles, which you don't necessarily want, but that just means that my wrinkles were too defined, not that my skin was correct. So yeah, this is the new one now. It's just a little bit less gummy in areas. The lips especially, they get a little bit more, they get darker, but they get a little bit more definition in them. Again though, I'm going to probably need to lower the amount of displacement. So that's all that changed though, it's literally just skin shading. I also got the meniscus working. I don't know if it's technically correct, but because it's a thin mesh, I just set it to the thin mode. So don't worry about like loads of work being done behind the scenes, because not much has been done. But yeah, I won't be able to do a long stream tonight just because the freelance for flip normals is kind of recording tutorials is a lot more complex than I expected, so it's kind of driving me slightly crazy at the moment. So I'm trying to push that through. So I've done a few videos so far, but because I go away on holiday, well, not holiday, I'm going to Belfast on Friday, I need to get like as much out as I can, so I can't stay on for too long. I guess about 10:30 would be a good time to end the stream. So a little bit earlier than it used to be, and I've started later, so I apologise about that. But I'll be back to normal once I get back from Belfast. But yeah, so I'm going to work primarily on the eyebrows today, because they're still not really where I want them. I need to work to get like the softness above them in. And then we'll kind of see if we want to do any texturing work or anything like that afterwards. So yeah, I'm going to get on with it. So let's, for now, show all the grooms. Let it do its thing for a second. There we go. I'm a little bit mentally preoccupied at the moment, just because of like I've got a lot of stuff to do. So if anyone has any questions for general talking points, let me know. I'm more than happy to chat. So let's go into eyebrows. Oh, I set to update all the grooms again. I keep forgetting about that. It's the most annoying little thing. But yeah, so far for the Flip Normal series, I've done a tutorial on kind of the basics of the actual interface. I've done a video on how parting works, and I've done a video on how the cut modifier works, like actually in depth what the cut modifier is doing and how to use it. So it's starting to get somewhere. It's starting to be quite interesting. I've got a lot more to do, but you know, nothing that can't be done. So let's put that down there. I'm just going to aim some of these down a little bit more. They're traveling too far away, I think. Although I do need to add density and width maps in this area. So let's just do that. I'm going to aim all these down towards the eyebrows. I don't know why I've got those two guides next to each other. Keep that one like that. Let's aim this guy down. So I'm going to hide the peach fuzz for a bit. Where are you, peach fuzz? There you are. So yeah, I need to increase the density of these guys. Let's get another guide out here. Oh. Eyebrows. Just pull that down. Right, so we're gonna need a little bit more work on this guy. That's for sure. Aim you down. I'm just gonna delete this guide because we don't need him. Add a guide up here. So all I'm going to do is just go into the density map and increase this slightly. So what's the current value set there? I color pick U. And okay, so I'm gonna roughly double that. No, that's not doubling it. That's cutting in half. So something like that. I need to get my whack out as well. There you go, something like that. I'll probably get back into Mari later as well. Don't know for sure yet though. Loud boy. There we go. So, oh, let's go back into that. Where's my icon? Pen. There we go. So I'm just going to do something like that. And I'm going to continue it from like here, I think. Technically not how it should be, but let's just see if it works visually first. And later on we can decide if it's accurate or not. It's always good just to get something. You don't need it to be perfect on first pass. Save textures, save density. Don't need that guide. I'm gonna need to get some macro photography, aren't I? Let's get the highest res reference we have and see if we can see anything at top. So we can see this stuff here. It's kind of traveling with the brown. And so it's mainly here that we can see it. So I need the width to go up, I think, is the issue. Oh, and it's actually quite short there. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on the other screen for a second. Put that right there. In fact, when we're doing that one, I've got pure F. As I said, mentally quite preoccupied right now. Load recent. Back into Maya. Okay. So let's do this. I'm just going to delete guides for now. I can keep these ones, they're fine. Then let's add a guide. I'm going to go with there, there, and up there. Probably get a guide there too. Select those guys. Go into the channel box. Taper at 0.8. And then is it 0.02 was the number we keep using? It is, cool. So let's get the sculpt guides tool. And so these guys need to be pointing up, I need to be curling up like that. Put you up there. Okay. It continues to curl up even to here. You as well. And then it starts to stop curling up just before it reaches this guy, so I think this will be the last one that gets curled, but it's going to be more subtle. And then these also need to be curled still. Let's just do that. And then they all just go kind of out, which is surprising to me. I would have thought they'd travel inwards a bit, although this might be okay, so let's display that groom. That might actually be correct-ish already. Just need to break up the density some more and the width. These are too thick. So let's go into the width app. Yeah, so I just need to lower the width for these guys. I can never find a good place to put these. I'm just going to put it back on the other screen. Get that lined up like that. Right, so did we pick a color? Let's go for you. Okay, let's make sure the other side is similar. Save textures. Save ptex. Where are you? There you are. So, let's need more hairs in the middle here. Let's check the mask first. Yeah, mask is fine. So let's just add a little bit of density. We need to pick this color right here. Just paint that in way up here. I think it goes like across these two. And then there's like little patches of black painted just to remove hairs that I don't want. So let's just save that. And I think the width needs to go down. Like, it needs to be super, super thin over here. Although they are already pretty thin, but even thinner. So select you. What value do you give? Okay, so I'm going to set that to half of that value. And something like that. Save textures. Save, was it the width I was just doing? I think it was. There we go. I'm going to paint the density back in as well. Might regret that, we'll see. No, that's fine. Oh, I also need to increase the density here because it's completely disappearing. So let's add you. Just do that. Save textures. Save. Oh, that's the wrong map. Save you. Then we just need to go in with width. And just color pick. Let's go with you. And just brush this area in. Save textures. Save width. These hairs are a little bit too similar to me. Then they all look the exact same. So let's remove that. Well, they do look pretty similar in the ref too. I think this is one of those cases where my eyes are going to be telling me over and over again to change it to something I want to see rather than something that's actually there. So let's remove those because they're too high up to start with. Apparently you don't want to go. Right, so these hairs need to be shorter as well. That's one of the issues. So let's save that. Save you. I don't know why these aren't going away. let's just update those guides. This one needs to be made way shorter. There we go. They're just too uniformly placed. But they will do for now. What about the other side? How is it doing? Can't see much of the other side. Really can't see much at all. I'll just show you guys. It clips out at the top. So I'm going to have to assume it's pretty similar to the other side, and then I can just look at this for general inspiration. Put that there. Come on, there we go. Well, it's already not far off again. I just need to scale some of these guides. My ears are ringing really badly. So, is it curling up the same way the other one did? Actually isn't. This side continues almost exactly like I've got, which is strange. You'd expect it to be kind of the same on both sides, but apparently not. Density here is kind of bothering me, to be honest. So let's pick this color right here. Just paint that in there. Save you. Save you. And then let's just go in with black. Solid brush. Paint out the individual hairs we don't want. Save you. We can paint out individual hairs and that will help us. Hello, what up, my dude? Hey Becca, how are you doing? I'm looking forward to coming over on Friday. It has been 3 weeks, my dude. Now that is the wrong texture. There we go. Oh, Becca, check your Facebook chat, by the way. Just remove you, because that's too regular. Save textures. Save this. Get in there. So, the thing is, I'm starting to get to a point where I don't know if it's burnout or if it's just general need for depth, but I am starting to get to a point in this project where I'm struggling to push it further. I need to do a fair bit of eye texturing. I need to do the teeth and the caruncles still, but groom-wise, I'm starting to burn out. So I'm really trying to monitor how that goes. I also need to make a little hairband down here to just tie this together. So I don't think a braid would hold itself together without something at the end, right? Although, if anyone knows better, please correct me. But I'm pretty sure I need to add something here to stop it from unraveling itself. Although overall, this groom is looking okay. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's pretty decent. I'm kind of tempted to just go into Mari now, to be honest. Start painting a diffuse blend map. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let's go into. Well, I could use a thickness map, couldn't I? As a base. So, what is it I'm doing? I need to go into Substance Painter, don't I? To make a thickness map. I'll just go straight into Mari for now. Oh, that's Marvelous Designer. Oh my god, I'm so preoccupied right now. Alright, Marvelous, come on. No, skip. Because I just want to close it. While that loads just for us to close it, I'm going to open Mari. Update license. I literally did this a few days ago. Update license. Launch. Where was I just typing? Right, so FKA twigs. So if we select the skin, get you, go into the attribute editor, go all the way over because we've got all the file textures attached. We've got down in subsurface, we have this diffuse blend, which is what I've started playing with. So 0.25 is what I'm using for the most part. I just need to paint a map for that so that the lips and the ears go back to being softer. Just generally fleshy bits. So 0.25 is the value I'm using. I'm not going to paint that in the actual map. I'm going to paint 0 to 1 and then just remap it, because then I can change it at any moment. I don't need to keep repainting over and over again. So let's create a new channel. I also still need to make a spec roughness map. In fact, is this the latest one? Probably is. I'm not convinced though. Did I paint a spec rough? Let's check my folders. Go into FKA twigs, texturing, FKA twigs, head. No, I didn't. Alright, so we still need to make a spec roughness map. For now, let's not worry about that. Let's just create a... so what should we call this? I guess SSS diffuse blend. Cool. And where's that created it? Right, so I'm going to replace you with a color node. Over. Set you to be black, just so we've got a base. I don't need to do that, I can set you to white. And let's go bottom transparency, replace you with a color. Base. Set you to black. And then I can just create a paint node. 4K, I want an alpha. And then I'm just going to put ISO diffuse blend. Then I'm just going to grab that. Diffuse blend min. Diffuse, alright. Diffuse blend max. Right, so now we have a paintable map. I'm just going to go into full shading mode just so I can see everything. It's only a temporary thing. And basically what I want to do now is paint white wherever I want diffuse to blend in. And I can set this diffuse blend max to a lower value when I'm ready. So let's go to the paint. Let's go to, where's my brushes? Shelf, personal, super soft. So I want, oh, I can also, oh. So, there we go. So I'm also going to set this up to be symmetrical for now, which I need to remember where you do that. I think it's this. Is that screen space or is that world space? Right, cool. So I'm going to want, how about we pump this all the way up? And wait, I need to think for a second. So it's actually the opposite of what I want. I need to make sure black is in the areas where I don't want diffuse. Alright, so I do need to fill everything with white. So let's just do that quickly. Project straight through. Let's turn off the masking as well. Painting. Masking disabled. So this is basically implying like full diffuse, which obviously we don't want, but we can get to that in a moment. Make sure we got all that. Cool. So now, with the face still being symmetrical, we can paint black where we want black. So where we want less diffuse. This is not as soft as I remember. So let's get the nostrils to be super gummy. Soften the lip out a little bit. Not much, but enough. I'm projecting through, aren't I? Need to turn that off now. Paint you back to white. I need to paint. I guess in this case I actually do need to paint straight through. So let's just set you to black. Let's do something like that for a second. Because I don't want any diffuse on the ears, or very little diffuse. I can always change that. Let's turn the project through back off. And with a lower flow, I guess 0.05. That is not what I typed. We can just add some white back in. These sorts of maps aren't ones you can paint quickly, so it will take me a few passes, I believe. But so we need to make sure we don't have any lines or anything like that. Which is one of the reasons I'm kind of tempted just to go and bake a diffuse, go and bake a thickness map. So I want that to be slightly less around the eyes, slightly less diffuse that is. A bunch of people are currently following me on Instagram. I don't know why. I don't use the thing. I just got it. Let's just paint you. I'm going to paint through you as well. And I can just paint out the back of the skull. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's set this to flat shade. And let's just paint that ourselves to be a little bit nicer to look at. So where the chin is, we're going to want it to be a lot more diffuse. And we're going to want it to be a relatively sharp line on the bridge of the nose. Something like that. And I think I'll check the UV view now. UV view is really great for smoothing out some of this stuff. Because you can see stuff that you wouldn't normally see. Like that. Is that inside the mouth? That's inside the mouth, isn't it? Let's quickly bake that. Cool. So, back into the perspective. Then I'm just gonna soften this back in. Something like that. And then I want to add a little bit of variation on top of this. So I'm going to use, what could I use? I could take a part of the displacement and use some of that. What channel though? So where's our disp? Is this our disp? That is our disp. Let's do a quick. So I think the green is what we want, right? So shuffle, input, and then let's just put green into everything. That'll work quite nicely, I think. Very strong. Right, so we want to merge this. That can be the base. And then we're going to want the levels as well. Is there an auto levels? No. Okay. So let's do something like make it just really subtle. So it's there, but it's barely doing anything. And we can multiply that on top. So darken, multiply. So now we have a little bit of a diffuse blend with some more interesting details in it, and we can just move this if we want it to be more contrasty. And now diffuse blend I want to go down, so let's say diffuse blend max, you need to go down to, it's 0.25, right? So 25. I'm going to very slightly increase the set mid to relative and set that to 0.5. Does this work better? That's losing value. It's still losing value, but it's better at least. I mean, we're multiplying, so we can't not lose value unless it went above 1, which I don't want to do. Although, could I set you to 2 and set you to 0.5? Let's not do that. Let's set you to 1. Cool. So we got that. That's our SSS diffuse blend. We also need a skin roughness. We also need to shuffle this into our spec map as well, because I'm doing that in my shader at the moment. So while I was off, another thing I did, which I guess I forgot to show, is I did quite a bit of, not fancy work, but I took the displacement, remapped it, and what did I do in that remap? Let's check. Yes, a plus or minus, then blended that with itself to add them into one map. I guess I could keep this. Basically, it's getting some of my displacement into the bumps, so it's not just the skin. So I guess we can leave that alone. The skin spec itself needs a little bit of work. So let's go into Mari. So as our spec, our spec actually already has a lot in it, so I'm going to leave that alone. So we need to make a spec roughness from this, right? So let's get, for that, we'll just literally add a channel. This one will be called spec R for spec roughness. And then all we need to do for you, where's the spec? That's the spec. So I'm going to plug that in as a base. I plug that in as an over, fuck it. And then just do a levels on that, basically. Although the spec reference is going to be a little bit difficult to use. So what roughness did we use in here? Because we've got multiple specular lobes, which is going to be an absolute delight to play with maps. So primary spec is set to 0.3 roughness, and rough spec is set to 0.6. So should we map this 0 to 1 and then remap it in the render, or should we create 2 spec roughnesses, primary spec and rough spec? This is the sort of texturing that I don't like doing. I think for now I'll leave that out. I'll get a diffuse blend first. So let's get that exported. File, not file. Export flattened. Export current channel flattened. Oh, is that finished? Shit, that was quick. Right, so now let's go into the tools, texture manager, and we need to pick directory. Then we've got texturing, FKA twigs, head, SSS diffuse blend, select that folder. 6 UDIMs of that. Annoyingly PNG just because I'm using Mari non-commercial. Right, Right, so what's the next thing for us to do? More people are going through my Instagram right now. What is going on? So you're done. Don't need that. We need. Why do I have another pixel manifold? Are they identical? They're identical. So let's fix that quickly. We don't need two manifolds if they're doing the same thing. So we need to create a pixel texture. So I'm just going to edit, duplicate, selected without network. SSS diffuse blend. Cool. And then just neaten this up a bit. It's getting a bit spaghetti networky. And we need to go to U. Go to our diffuse blend, and I'm just going to click and drag it. At the very least, it will show us where the connection needs to go. Oh, I forgot about that. Is this in subsurface? I guess we're just going to open it up, aren't we? Subsurface. Diffuse switch, that's not it. I don't think anyway. Is it diffuse switch? No. That would be connecting something here. Alright, 0.25, we need to remember 0.25. In fact, no we don't. Let's just create a file. And where does that get connected? There it is, subsurface diffuse blend. So let's just take that. And where's our... Does this just reorganize itself? Yeah, there it is. So we just need to get the result R of this. Plug you in there. And there we go. We now have a map. So, we got that done. I'm going to do a little bit of rendering. Let's alt save because I haven't actually saved anything yet. And I'm going to hide the groom for a bit. And I'm also going to follow the advice I was given, and I'm going to turn off spec for a little bit as well. Come on. Let's list this. So let's go turn off Specular. That's plugged in to something. How do I turn you off then? So let's delete you and delete you. And those are both set to black now, yep. Alright, cool. So I just need to remember this one goes to spec edge color and this one goes to rough spec. So spec edge col rough spec edge col. Cool. And let's go into the render cam I also need to turn off my displacement. Displace skin. Enabled. And then the bump disabled. Okay, and just start an IPR. That's quick. Right, so apparently this is just diffuse then. Oh, this is just spec. Not just spec, oh my god, I'm useless today. This is just subsurface. It doesn't look like just subsurface. So let's turn that off. So I don't really know what I'm looking for, to be honest. So let's turn these back on. And I'm going to plug these back in as well. And I'm going to get AOVs instead. So that's spec edge call. And this is spec rough. Then let's go into RenderMan, AOVs. What is CI? Color. Right, so we're gonna want position. Let's go with direct diffuse. I really need to learn how to use these. What else is there? Now let's go with one that's simple. Create new node. Delete that, I guess. What's this one? Create new display. Alright, let's try that again. Pattern is already there. Really need to learn how to use this. Let's go with direct spec. Let's go with direct diffuse. What else could we need? I guess we'll go with albedo and beauty as well. I have a feeling this is going to be nuts now. I'm going to save that as an alt version. So I'm wholeheartedly expected to have fucked it up there. And that's fine. So I do have, right, okay, so this is our albedo. Then we have our beauty. This is our direct diffuse. We shouldn't have any diffuse here. There's our spec. Subsurface. Why is this not subsurface? Direct diffuse. Oh, so direct diffuse won't catch it. And then this is glass, which is looking exactly as we expect. Okay, so I need to edit all this. Because that was a preview render, it's going to take a little bit longer to kill. There we go. So let's kill all this, yeah? Right, so we want glass, we want subsurface, we want, was it direct diffuse? That's indirect. Subsurface carries everything, but we'll get it anyway, I guess. Direct spec and direct diffuse. And was there anything else? Guess that will do. Why did that not work? Oh my god. So where are these then? I guess I'm going to leave this for now. Why? I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this right now. I'm just really struggling with this work. Let's just start an IPR and see if we like the difference. And why does that keep going to the other screen? And then off stream I'm going to read up on how this works, because I don't understand it. So that's our albedo. And what do you have? You have ID. So that looks the way I expect. Beauty, direct diffuse. That's including the... Oh, I guess if it's running direct diffuse, that's going to pick up the subsurface and then it's getting blended in. So that's actually reading as if the whole thing was diffuse. This is kind of helpful because that shows me what 100% diffuse would look like. Direct spec. And then so that this... Well, that's not showing me what I thought. It's so weird. I'm gonna delete that one. I'll delete you as well. I'm not convinced that's working. I think my diffuse blend is broken. Why are you doing that? This stream is a struggle, that's for sure. Right, so where are you? What have you? Wait, did I plug in? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Right, okay. I didn't change the texture, did I? Okay. This is the stage we're at. So we want to go to diffuse blend and pick the first view. Right. Save that scene. And start never render. Why does it keep going to the other screen? Stop going to the other screen. I apologize about this, guys. Somewhat embarrassing, but it doesn't matter. So really? It doesn't like me today. Let's go to desktop. I'm gonna save you and archive you. Archive. D drive, projects, personal projects, FKA twigs, text string, Mari archives. I'm just gonna save over the latest one because I haven't actually changed any of the maps that already exist. Overwrite that. Okay, and then drag the temp in. So this is the one I did off stream. So we should find it's gummier on the actual lips and then still diffuse everywhere else. Still not working. Why? Yeah, that's as if the diffuse is on full, which it shouldn't be. Does it not support being mapped? Why are you getting stronger? So I'm going to put you on the other screen. Close PureF for a little bit. Drag you on the other screen. Put you there. Right, and I'm going to start an IPR. And then get you back up. Let's preview that channel. Right, so that's clearly black. So that map is working. So why is the lip getting more affected? Result R, that's working exactly as we'd want. Let's go forward one. So at 0 there should be no diffuse. Do I need to clamp it? I don't think so. Let's give it a go. Clamp. Input RGB. Then result R, subsurface diffuse blend. let's stop soloing you. Looks like it's still like that. Why? So what happens then if we disconnect that? Let's just re-render this area. Looks like it's fixed. Why are you doing that then? So set that to 0.25. So it's working. As a value it works fine, but as a map it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. That shouldn't. Okay, is there a pixel color to float? No. Pixel float, no. Color, no. Okay, let's try inverting it. Just in case, for whatever reason, it needs to be inverted with a map. Can't rule it out. So I'm just putting a Pixar invert node. So it's definitely not that. And let's just double check, because that should be bright white now. Yeah, it is. So it's not that. And you're not working. So does this just not read maps? So do I just have to map the radius? And I can do. Okay, so let's try deleting that connection. And then I set diffuse blend to 0.25. And so the mean free path distance in theory should be able to be mapped then. So let's try that. And if it can be mapped, then I need to do a little bit more work. So I'm just going to drag this over here for a second. So let's delete you and delete you, and let's create a PXR remap. And let's turn off the clamp. So I'm going to plug you into, grab this, Mean free path distance, so 1 is what I want for a majority of everything, which is fine. So let's drag you into here. Mean free path distance. Subsurface. Is that the, I guess that's it. So let's go into result R. Right. So now it'll be set to 0 subsurface here. So if I change this remap so that 0 becomes free, that should soften the lip right out and keep the hardness of the rest of the skin. So let's give that a go. If that works, I need to go and invert the map, which is easy enough to do because of the way we got it set up. Good lord. Hey Kosi, how you doing? So the ear is definitely lit up. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, I guess while I'm at it, I'm going to go and invert this. Oh, today's stream is a mess. Alright, so let's drag you over here. So, hide you for a second. So we need to rename this to SSS, and then let's call it mean free path distance. And I'm just gonna set max to 1. Yes. Wait, no, I need you to be set to, God, right, 0. I need min to be set to 1. Obviously I'll need to rename those. And this can be remapped, so obviously I'm going to have to rename those. So let's call this one max. But no, that was still is max. Oh my god, I'm confusing myself so much right now. Alright, set you back to min. Right. So, I'm going to need to remove that in this case, so that it maps correctly. I'm also going to need it to be way smoother, so let's do that quickly. I don't know why this is stacking up like that. Do something like that. I need to turn off mirroring, aren't I? And just fix that. So in this case, what I can do, in fact, no, I need to leave that as it is. Why are you happening? Oh, of course, that'll be why. Right, that'll do. So let's save you out. Export flattened, export current channel flattened. And then while that exports, go back into Maya. So go back into Maya. Then I'm going to need to rename you to MF mean free path distance. That's finished. So now we need to go into RenderMan, Tools, and then go into the Texture Manager, pick a directory, while I'm at it, I'm going to delete the other directory because I don't need it anymore. Texturing, head, diffuse blend needs to be turned off. Right. So I've got you. We need to remap 0 to 1, which is what it was set to, and max to 3. And in theory, we should now have a scatter radius of 3 units at the most subsurface-like areas, and then 1 unit everywhere else. So let's just do a quick IPR. My brain is fried right now. Details. Then let's limit Maya, set affinity. Almost tempted to like start on a new project sooner and then return to this at a later date. So I think with the way today's stream is going, the burnout is real. Like, it's strong. Let's go with the E. Okay, so let's test out an area like this one. Oh, the grooms, of course. I should show the grooms then, shouldn't I? Kill that. Show you. Right. Try an IPR again. What's next? I have no idea, to be honest. Next project's no idea. 1 second. Render's taking its time to start. Yeah, next project I have no idea. I kind of want to do something that's cute. Something that'll take a lot less time as well. That would be quite important to me, to be honest. Kind of like another Dragon Boy type project, but this time actually record the whole thing. So I'm going to let this do a few passes. Let's kill... no. Kill you. Is touch on? Touch is on. Okay, so that would be what's fucking with it earlier. So let's let that do a few passes. Okay, and while that goes, let's check our skin shader. So diffuse blend is 0.25, that's fine. Really wish I could map that though. So it says it's a float, so it should be able to be messed with, but apparently not. What are you? Right, I can kill that. What are you? Yeah, I can definitely kill that one. And then what are you? Can also kill that one. Okay, let's start this little region here. More people follow me on Instagram. Why are people following me? Have they not noticed I've not posted anything since Dragon Boy? Run, you fools. Right, okay, so this looks pretty much the same, which is good. That's what we want in this case. Okay. Let's test this area down here. So I want the lips to be softer, which just looks like it's going to achieve. Let's just leave that rendering for a second. And I think next thing for us to do is texture the eyes, or continue to work on the eyes, or do the caruncle. Let me check something in Mari. Is my caruncle in this scene? It isn't. Okay, so it's going to be overly complex to do. Yeah, to me that looks nicer. It's a bit softer. And the ear should be considerably softer. Come on, there we go. I don't know why that keeps undoing itself. I think the diffuse depth, the subsurface depth is a bit too much on the ears. We'll let that clean up for a second. Well, it might be okay, so it's hard to tell. But no, it's not okay, because this is too blurry. So I need to paint like a value of 0.5 around here, don't I? Let's go back into Mari. Okay, is there a way for me just to invert this paint node? Or do I just need to repaint it? I guess it's healthier for me to just repaint it. So let's delete you, and create a paint node. Start black. Okay. And let's just call this paint SSS MFPD. Paint SSS green free path depth. Okay. perspective, 3D painting, and basic shading, which doesn't make a difference. Alright, so full shading, which also doesn't make a difference. Oh, because I'm previewing that. Let's view you while I paint. Fine. Let's do a temporary, so I can get rid of you. Let's just do a merge for a second. Put you over you. I can just view that. And let's set that to multiply. But no, let's not set that to multiply. I'm so confused what is going on in my brain today. And why is this happening? I'm so ready for some time off. I'm so mentally lost right now. It's actually kind of impressive in a way. There we go. Actually see what I'm doing now. Paint some white here. Ears are ringing right now. Something like that. And we need to paint a value of 0.5 for the ears. So let's set that to 50. And then let's set you to paint through. And let's set flow all the way up for a second. Okay, remove paint through, set flow much lower again. Alright, so we got that. And then let's do the 0.5 thing around the eyes as well. I've only got this low grey value everywhere else just so I can see the wireframe. So let's just paint the eyelids to be thinner. And then I'm going to increase the radius slightly on the cheeks. Like on the really fleshy part of the cheeks, so let's say that's 2.5. And then I'm going to have to just view you for a bit. Let's just ease that back. In fact, let's get rid of it. So I'm gonna reduce the scatter radius just here. And then I'm going to reduce the radius over here as well. Basically just soften it where the bone is. And then here. Something like that. So let's give that a go. Export selected. Rewrite all those. It's already finished. It's so quick. So back into render band, tools, texture manager. Need to just reconvert you, reconvert you. Cool, they should all be done in a second. Guess I can close this for now. Cool, so let's do a IPR. So the ear should be less gummy in this one. And nose will be a little bit more refined too, but we didn't do a refined render of the nose. So let's just let this do a few passes, and then we'll region render some bits. Oh, right. Let's region render now. So that should in theory look the same as this one. It's actually surprisingly close to region render. Yes, that should look the same now. Yeah, it's the same. Alright, so let's check the is. So the scatter radius should be half what it was, which may still be near as a gummy, but it should be just less gummy. So let's just do that. Technically it should be halfway between these two. We've got a little bit more detail here, but it's subtle, so I need to reduce it even further. In fact, it might pretty much be the same. So yeah, let's reduce it even further. Let's check out the nose while we're at it. So nostrils have got brighter. I need to check my textures here because it looks like I've got some weird brown stain in my textures. So let's half the ear again. So let's paint a value of 0.25. So not you. So set use 25. Go to the front and just paint through. And then I'm gonna have to paint the cheek again, but that's fine. Would it have been easier to just paint the side? It would, wouldn't it? Okay, and let's paint back to black. Flow all the way down. Don't want lines in this sort of texture. Okay, so this means to do it on this side too. So there's that. So let's export this channel again. Export channel. Cool. And then let's go back to Col. Yeah, it is that horrible skin tone in there. Shadows in the textures, that's not good. So I need to paint that out. Question is, where's it coming from? It'll be in there from the projection stage, I know, but and then projection base, yeah. So it's in this one. Let's just go. So I'm going to need to paint you out. I think it'd be easier just to pick a color. So rather than paint a projection, so let's just pick a color like that one. Just paint that out. Then let's pick a color. What's the shortcut for you? Alright, don't tell me. Keep your secrets. Bit more value, bit less saturation. Alright, that's not working as well as I wanted it to. So let's set you, go to image manager, and let's drag you over. I don't know how well this will work. In fact, it's not going to. We need this one. And let's just use the colors from the cheek. So is it? Yeah, that one. So let's just softly paint that in. Much softer than that. Where is my opacity? Where's the controls for you? As in, why don't I have opacity and all that sort of stuff? Oh, it's all down here. Oh. So let's try with a larger and softer brush. Not that tone though. I'm filled with a deep hatred of this right now. What am I painting on right now? That's clearly not the colour that's actually there. It's because you're set to overlay. What the fuck? Why are you set to overlay? So let's try that again. So much better. God fucking damn it. Fuck off, what are you doing now? Right, no, that is what I expect. Alright, cool. I was about to flip the table. Right, so let's go back into here. Paint a nice soft colour like that one. I should undo all of that and like redo it again, but this time with a working brush. There we go. Alright, so let's try that again. So this time a much gentler stroke to not destroy everything, although I was still edging some stuff in there. That's better. Oh, it's still not pink enough anymore. That's better. And then you. I'm going to keep a little bit of it there, just less obvious this time. Right, so now if we go all the way to the end again, you don't have those horrible lines there anymore. That's good. It's a lot better. Still got this, but yeah, we may as well fix it. Okay. So let's go into you and just gently wipe that away. Let's give that a go. So, export flattened, export current channel flattened. That's not gonna lie, it's getting really dark in here. Oh. Right, so we got all that. So we needed to darken. The nostrils, didn't we? Because they were too bright. So let's go down to a value of 0.5, I guess, is a good one to start with. Oh wait, that's value's not going to work. So it has to be 50, not 0 point. I can delete these guys now. Specular will come later. I forgot to have. God fucking damn it. Let's turn you back on. Set you to a larger number. Cool, so we got that. Let's soften you in a little bit. Let's lower that opacity even more, or the flow even. Export you again. Export flattened. Cool. I'm going to close you and start archiving, because that's going to take, yeah, there's quite a few changes, so let's update that. Cool. Back into Maya. Renderman tools. We need reconvert. Reconvert, and I think the rest should be fine, but I'm going to reconvert them anyway. And then we're going to need to reconvert the col. Cool, so close you, save this scene, and let's start a new IPR. So we fixed that super dark bit. And luckily we are getting some in our shadow now, which is good because that means that our lighting is doing that job for us. We're not stacking, because this was like super dark. Like that dark patch is in our ref, but this was like stacked, like super dark. So let's try rendering just this region, and I'm going to put you at the end. Right. So let's try out the ears. Is this even working? I'm not convinced the maps are doing what I want them to do. Best place to check is the forehead, because the forehead has visible wrinkles but only with the low mean free path. That looks like it might be. I really hope these two are identical. Yeah, the next character is definitely going to be something super stylized, something I can kind of just like relax with. Looks like the wrinkles aren't working, so the mean free path map isn't working. I think. Oh my fucking god. Why isn't this mappable? This is beyond frustrating. If you're looking for what the difference is, I don't know how well it'll come across in stream, but basically these wrinkles should look identical, but they don't. Although they're getting closer, so maybe my cries for... No, they're not the same. 'Cause these are redder. Why are you doing this to me? They are slowly becoming more similar, but they're not the same. And they should be the same. Which is really annoying. I mean, at least they're similar, but similar isn't good enough. I want it to be the same, so that I know I have control. Because the problem I've got now is I don't know if I have control over this stuff. Could be some color correcting the files. Maybe, but I don't think so. We can give it a go. I hope you're right. Sincerely hope you're right. So let's check our your sRGB. Okay, so let's try setting you to raw data. Well, can I set it to raw in here? Right, let's give that a go. Although it shouldn't be making that much of a difference though. Right, let's export you. Export flattened, export current channel flattened. Hey Andrea, how you doing? Renderman, tools, texture manager. Let's just update the first one because that's the only one that's been changed really. Well, I should really update all of them. Reconvert, reconvert. Give this 1 second. Well, it's probably done behind the scenes. So let's save again. Right. Then let's do an IPR. The thing is, the value of 0, which is what this would have been on the map, wouldn't have been changed by any color space, because 0 is always 0. It never gets moved. So once this loads, let's just get this region and update this as soon as it starts. Just let this do a pass in the render. Cool, start that region. So in theory these two should look identical, but the map value is 0, so I don't think it will look identical. Has it got worse? It's got worse. What? Don't want linearize. It's already raw. If that legit made it worse, I'm probably going in the stream because it's just going terribly today. I think it has made it worse. How does that even work? How does it get worse between those two? I'm just gonna hyperfocus one tiny area. Just to get results super fast. Oh thank fuck it, it eventually sampled to be the same. Still softer though. Well, that could be... Oh, it's so annoying to figure this stuff out. Let's check how the ears are doing. Although they look like they're still going crazy. Oh, I guess what the issue could be is that we've got bleed on now. And that's stacking. Let's turn bleed to 0. So it was 0.5, need to remember that. Okay, so that was stacking. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Very slowly getting somewhere. That makes the ear softer, that's good. The thing with bleed though is it maintains details, so it's kind of helpful to have instead of scatter radius sometimes. That's looking healthier. Okay, we've made progress in exactly one area. We're doing well. Oh, good lord. Yeah, it's looking pretty much identical. That's good. I know there's crossover between these regions, but I really want this bit up here. So these should look almost identical as well. If not actually slightly harder in mine, because there's no bleed now. Let that do its thing. Okay, so I guess the thing for us to test is it better than the last preview render we did? Let's go to images, progression, load in 31, put you above. So it has slightly more detail than that at least. A bit of a nicer glow at the edge here. Okay, I'm going to start the whole render. This is going to be the end of the stream, I think, guys, just because it's been such an uphill struggle today. Next stream, as always, will be on Thursday, so I'll continue then. But yeah, apologies for today's stream. Yeah, kind of crazy. Just kind of, I don't even know. I'm mentally burnt out today, I know that for sure. Got a lot going on. So it's like, immediately struggling on this project isn't exactly helpful. But yeah, I'll try to, I'll do a stream on Thursday. Hopefully I'll be mentally in a bit better of a shape for that. We'll work on the eyes, we'll ignore the skin, just ignore those problems for now until I get back from the holiday, because I'll be a lot more relaxed. And then I'll be able to kind of tackle that properly, and then maybe we can get into texturing the earrings and that sort of stuff, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Again, apologies for the way tonight's stream has been. Hopefully we'll be better next time. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, guys. And I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully. Bye.